everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Génika and this channel is everything about clean beauty, low toxic living, wellness for a smooth transition into a clean lifestyle. So before we start today's video, if you're not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification so you never miss an upload. Alright, and you can follow me on my socials, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and yeah, follow along and join the beautiful family. Alright, so today's topic is a little bit different. I'm gonna be talking about things you should know before getting your wisdom teeth removed. So I recently got about a month ago, a little over a month ago, I got my top wisdom teeth removed. Okay, just to give you a background. So the reason why I decided to get my wisdom teeth removed is because, first of all, I had already got my bottom teeth removed years ago. I would say like over 5 years ago. And because of that, I didn't like the experience. I was like, you know what, the top ones were not out yet, so I was like, nope, it's fine, I'm just going to do the bottom teeth and I'm good to go. I don't really need to have the top one removed if they're not causing me any harm, right? So eventually what happened was my left side came out like fully, like it was out. Okay, I just had like an extra tooth. So every time I would eat, like food would get stuck in it, so I was like so uncomfortable. I would have to brush my teeth every single time, and then let's say if I'm not home, like food would be stuck like literally here, and then it was just a painful experience and horrible. So I said, you know what, I had to do that for that reason, and secondly because I have insurance, so I'm paying for insurance. I was like, I better be using my teeth coverage, right? My dental coverage. So this one was under the gum, so it had not come out yet, so it was just chilling there. I had no pain, just so you know, I had no pain, but it's really the fact that the food was getting stuck on my left side that I decided to go. So I booked my appointment and I was like, okay, it's time. So I call and the lady is like, oh, do you want to get a sedation? Is it sedation? Yeah, like when I think that's the word, sedation, or I don't know if I'm saying it properly, but whatever. I'll put the word on the screen. So she's like, oh, it's an extra $400. I'm like, anything dental is always 1,000 and up. Yes, my insurance will cover, but I don't know to which extent. So I'm like, you know what? No, it's fine. Like the bottom ones, I didn't get it, so I was awake, but a lot of things was going on, and I was traumatized. But I said, you know what? I can handle it for a second time. So I booked my appointment, and the day finally comes for me to, no, actually before I got my my appointment, I called the office. I'm like, oh, I've been referred by Dr. so and so. I would like to book a date or schedule a date to get my wisdom teeth removed, right? And then the lady's like, oh, we would have a spot, I think it was the following week, right? The following week, she's like, oh, we'll have a spot like next week, next Wednesday. I still remember, Wednesday, July 3rd. So I'm like, oh shoot. And I had already like booked some days off for work like prior to that. So I was like, man, I had like, that's random, but I had Thursday and Friday off, but my surgery was supposed to be on, well, it was on Wednesday. So anyway, so I ended up moving one of my vacation days. And then I'm like, okay, fine. So I go to the appointment because I didn't want to go and then work. Like I didn't want that stress. So this is the little story of why and how I got my appointment. So let's get started. Well, the first time I got my wisdom teeth removed, the experience wasn't so great, to be honest, because the doctor, wasn't it great? I don't know, because now that I'm thinking, okay, the doctor, well, because I was so stressed that the anesthesia was not kicking in how it was supposed to. I'm talking about like over 5 years ago. It was not kicking in properly, so they had to keep giving me like medication. I think there were like three, well, the doctor and then two other people like trying to calm me down because I was like all the time. Okay, so then but I remember that he actually like broke down the tooth well, the teeth, I think was both of them. He broke them down, like, I think in 4 pieces. But I know, like, it's more risky. Like, you can have more infections if you do that, because if he doesn't remove, like, all the particles or the teeth, or he doesn't remove the teeth properly, it can cause infections. So I kind of understand why this dentist or surgeon didn't do it this time. So first of all, I have to tell you, like, when they remove your teeth, like, my first experience wasn't that bad. I thought it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. But the second one, when they remove your teeth, because after I spoke to people and they were like, oh yeah, da, da, da. Anyways, I'll tell you, they don't care. Okay, you just want to pull the teeth out, and I'm like, hello, I'm a human. Like, anyways. So the surgeon, like, he gave me the anesthesia. So, and he was kind of, I don't know if he was old, but I don't know. I was just not expecting this. It was very traumatic. Okay, I know I sound dramatic, but it was traumatic. So he starts with this side, and to me, like, the tooth is already out, so it shouldn't be that bad, you know. So he goes ahead and removes the. He gives me the anesthesia, like, so my mouth is numb. So I'm like, okay, fine, this one should be easy. But the way the doctor was pulling my tooth, sorry, I was like, yo, it hurts. Not hurts, but just because at some point my lips were not fully numb, right? Sorry. My lips were not fully numb. So, like, I could feel the pressure. And there was the other assistant who was there. And I was like, oh. Yeah, it was dramatic like that. I was like, oh, oh. And then he had to stop. And then the lady was like, oh, her lip. So I was like, yeah, my lip. Hello. So anyway, so he ended up pulling the tooth with all his strength. But I was like, and before we started, I'm like, I'm not gonna die, right? He said,
well, you're not supposed to.
So I was like, well, I don't know if I should be trusting you right now with that answer, but whatever. So then he pulls the tooth, and then after, I'm like, I was just shocked. I was like, okay. So he was literally pulling. There was no, like, trying to shake. I don't know. He was pulling. So I was like, what if, like, he gets a nerve and then it bursts in my brain and then I just end up dying here, right? Anyways, so then he's like, okay, we move on to the other side. So he gives me a little bit more anesthesia. He's like, okay, we're gonna get back. Well, he does whatever. He finishes the side and then he moves to the other side. But this one I knew was gonna be a little bit more painful because he had to go under the gum to get the tooth out, right? So I was kind of expecting it. That's why in my video, my hair coloring, you'll see, like, this side is bigger, well, it's swollen more than the other side, because it was this one that was more painful, but it recovered faster. But this one, to this day, I still feel like a little hole. So anyways, I'll just wait a couple of weeks again, because it hasn't been, no, I think it's been over a month. So I'll wait again, and then I'll call them to see, like, am I supposed to get a touch up, because I don't want, like, food to get stuck, whatever. So on the other side, he goes into the gum, da da da. But at first, because I didn't know, I was numb, right? So I was like, yeah, I'm a little bit control freak, okay, just a little like this. So I was like, wait, are you removing the right tooth? I was like, is it the right tooth that you're removing? I just wanted to make sure he was not, like, removing, like, one of the teeth that was, one of the tooth that was already out, but really the one under the gum. I know he had the x-ray, but I just had to make sure, okay? So then he's like, yes. So this one was, like, I was just like, I think I was numb, like mentally numb and upset at the same time. I was like, how can he just be pulling like that? Like, and as I was sitting on the chair, I was like, man, maybe I should be vegan, because this is torture. Is that how we torture animals, for us to eat them? So that lasted like a day, and then after I was like, yo, I'm gonna eat my meat. But anyways, so that's what happened. So the procedure was over, and then the aftercare. And this is the reason why I'm making this video, so you know what to expect, okay? Firstly, before I jump into the points that I have, I think it was like 2 days after, like, we had a little family gathering, and clearly like I was swollen. So I told one of my cousins, I'm like, oh yeah, I got my wisdom teeth removed, da, 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 da. And I said, oh, it was so horrible. The experience was so horrible. And one of them said, oh yeah, me, the dentist literally, like, he was almost like on her, like pulling the tooth. So I was like, she's like, yeah, it was horrible. Like, my experience was horrible too. So I don't know. I don't know if that's what they really, that's how they're supposed to do it, or if it's you know what I mean? They just don't care and they do whatever, or the fact that we're awake, we know what's going on, or that's just how they do it, period. Because a lot of people, especially, they will get the sedation so they can sleep. Because all of the people, my co-workers that I spoke with, they were like, oh no, yeah, they just got the sedation and then they were not awake. So I'm like, I'm not gonna take like drugs for them to put me to sleep for no reason. If it's not a major surgery, I don't need it. I will stay awake. Okay, I don't need to be sleeping for no reason. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know, I was questioning it, like it got to my mind, but I don't want to overthinking. But that's really a question that I had. Anywho, so here are some points that I want to share with you guys. Okay, now that you have a little backstory and what happened, so here's some points that you should take into consideration before getting your wisdom teeth removed. So first of all, day one, you will be tired. You will stay in bed all day, and mind you, you will have medication, drugs to take for the painkillers. And honestly, the doctor prescribed me 2 medications, okay, 2 painkillers, but I don't like taking painkillers, okay? I don't like taking medication, period, other than supplements. So I was like, it's better for me not to, like, I didn't want to take the medication. Oh, and you'll have antibiotics too. So he prescribed me 3 products. One that was painkiller that was super strong. And I know in the past I had a painkiller that was super strong. I don't know which one it was, but it made me feel dizzy, and that was like years ago. And then I had a regular painkiller that was it was strong too, but not like the other one. It was more expensive, so I was like, the girl was like, if you don't want to use it, like, I wouldn't suggest you to take this one because it's super strong, and it's a lot more expensive. And then you have your your antibiotic. Okay, so these are the 3 products. So of course I went with the painkillers, the regular ones, and the antibiotics, because I had no choice but to take the antibiotics. Okay, so because of the painkillers, you will be tired a lot. You will stay in bed. I stayed in bed the entire day. I was sleeping. My intervention was at 8. Then I got home. I was fine. I drove myself home. It was about like a 30-minute drive. I drove back home, and then I went to the drugstore to get my medication. Then I got back home. But I will say that there's the little gauze. That's just me, okay? Everything grosses me out. So the gauze that they put in your mouth to stop the bleeding. Like, when I got in the car, well, first of all, I was talking. As soon as I got in the car, I was on a phone call. And just the fact that it was full of saliva and blood, sorry, it's TMI, it just grossed me out. So I just threw it away. I was like, ah! I just spit it out, and I was like, it's fine. I'm going to be fine. I don't think it's going to be bleeding like that. So I took them out. I don't think I was supposed to take them out, but I just couldn't handle it, okay? So honestly, you don't really feel the pain. That's number 2. You don't really feel the pain until you see your face, okay? It might be because the anesthesia is wearing off, so you kind of start feeling things. But as the anesthesia, that's also why you're very tired after, because the anesthesia is wearing off and you just get super tired. You feel that your body is fighting something. Not fighting, but something had happened, right? So I was super sleepy. I slept, I think I got home like and the procedure was super fast. It was like an hour or something. So I got back home, an hour top. So I got back home, and then I think it was 10. By the time I go to the pharmacy, it was 10, and then I sat on my couch, and then I fell asleep. So my couch is not too comfortable, so I was like, okay, I need to go to bed. And I have blackout curtains. So I closed the curtains, I got in bed, and I slept. Like I slept like, I don't like taking naps during the day, but I slept. So I was like, okay, at some point I was texting my sister, I was like, yo, like what is going on? Because I can't be sleeping like that. My entire day is over. So I woke up, I think it was 7 p.m. because I needed food. And my sister brought me food, but it was like 7 p.m. So that's when I woke up. So we were just chatting, whatever. And as soon as she left, I think I took the medication, the painkillers, and then I just laid in bed and I fell asleep again. And the following day I had to work. So I was like all slow motion, whatever. But yeah, and the antibiotics that you have to take. Anyways, I'll get back to that point. But just make sure that it doesn't hurt until you see your face in the mirror. Okay, the point number 3, I actually spoke about it in my intro. The doctors are reckless and careless. Okay, be aware of that. They just want to get the teeth out and go on with their day because they have other patients than you. Okay? I mean, he was not mean or bad or whatever, but it's just that's how you feel because he doesn't. Yeah, that's clearly not only my surgeon, but as I said, my cousin had a similar experience as well. So they just do the job and then on to the next one. To the point that after, like, because you have to sit in the room and they had a mask, so I didn't know who was my doctor. Like, he didn't come after to say, oh, okay, we finished everything, da da da. I don't even know what he looks like because he had a mask. So there were different cubicles, like offices. So I was like, is it him or is it this one or is it that one? So I didn't even know. Like, I think he probably passed in front of me and I didn't know it was him. So they need to be a little bit more gentle and nice. And I understand you have to get your work done, but just be mindful that they will be reckless and careless. Okay? You will be feeling the pain. They won't. And they're men. You know how strong men are? Like, let's just not talk about that. But anyways. Oh, point number 4. Be aware of painkiller medications. Why are you saying this, Génika? Because if you're not careful, you can become, I don't know if I can say the word, but you can become addicted, okay, to the painkillers. So at some point, because you don't want to feel the pain because you know it's going to be painful, especially this one that was under the gum, and like they just pulled something out of you, right? So you know it's going to be painful and you don't want to feel the pain. So I felt, that's my experience, okay? And I caught myself pretty quickly. Like, at first I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take the painkillers, and then 3 or 4 hours later, I'm gonna take another painkiller. So I had that schedule, but at some point I was like, the first day I was more on schedule. The second day I was like, you know what? You better loosen up a little bit on these medication because it's easy for you to get addicted. Anyway, that's me. It was easy for me to just go like, oh, let me just get a painkiller so I don't feel the pain, because you don't want to feel the pain, okay? It's just normal. Like, I'm not like that with regular medication. As a matter of fact, I do not take Tylenols when I have a headache because I just stay away from medication. But the fact that this was associated to a greater pain, automatically I just wanted to run and get the other painkiller. Like, it was weird. I really had to calm myself down and be like, okay, you know what? If you really feel the pain, or if the pain you start feeling the pain, then go for the medication. Don't just take it automatically and just inject that medication to your body, because it's still a drug, right? Like, yes, it's a painkiller, but it's still a drug. So I had to be very mindful and careful of not overdoing the meds. All right. As a matter of fact, after like a couple of days, when the swelling was going down, I just stopped taking them altogether. And I don't know if I still have the bottle. No, I think I threw them away because I didn't want to have this strong painkiller in my house. I was like, we're just gonna throw it away, so it's not in the house. Okay, so beware of painkillers that are super strong. Well, I should have mentioned that point first. When you're done with the surgery, make sure to follow the dentist instructions. As I said, I skipped some of the instructions. For instance, the gauze that I had, I just threw it away as soon as I got in my car because I thought it was so disgusting. And then they gave me a syringe, and I didn't use it because, like, what am I gonna do with that? So I threw it away. After a couple of days, when I was cleaning, I was like, I'm gonna be fine. I don't need to be like throwing water, or I don't know. I was like, I'll just gargle some water or like shake water in my mouth and I'll be fine. So yeah, for the instruction, make sure to follow them. I had the little paper. I didn't follow them, but make sure to follow the instruction of the doctor. That was like a side note. Okay, my other point is you may experience some dizziness or vertigo. Nobody ever told me about that one. No one told me. No one told me that I would have dizziness, that it may happen. So here's what happened. So I was okay. So I don't know what happened. I was fine. Yeah, I was fine. Okay. So one morning, I woke up and I had to go to the office. So as I woke up, it was around 6 a.m. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wake up, start getting ready. But as I woke up, like everything was spinning around me. So I was like, what is going on? I got like in front of my dresser. So I was like, wait, is it me who's like really tired, or things are spinning for real? So I I stood still and I literally felt everything spinning. So I was like, what's going on? So I got back to bed. So after, because I had to go to the office and I didn't want to call sick because I had already like days off. So I was like, you know what, maybe I'm just dehydrated, I need water, or I need to eat, whatever. So I got ready to go to work. I don't even know how I did it, but I got ready. And then I got to the metro. Everything was spinning. I was like, yo. It wasn't as strong as when I had woken up, but I was like, what is going on? Nobody talks about it. So as I got to the office, like I messaged my cousin because she's a nurse practitioner. So I'm like, yo, this is a medication I'm taking. I'm dizzy. Like, what is going on? Like, is it normal that I have vertigo? Like, what is really going on? So she looked up, like I googled the side effects of. She said, okay, give me the medication, the name, and I gave it to her, and that's how I googled it as well. So I saw like all the symptoms, like vomiting. I didn't vomit, but I wanted to throw up very bad. So dizziness. There were a bunch of symptoms like blood and stool, um, upset stomach, a lot of things. So I was like, whoa, what is this? So I don't know if it was okay, no, but the day before, because my face was so swollen, what I did is I did a face lymphatic massage. Okay, because when it's swollen, like you have a lot of liquid, so I just couldn't because it was way too swollen. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do like a lymphatic massage, but very very lightly. Okay, similar to the one that I posted, but I used my hands only, no gua sha. It was really just my hands, a massage just to help with the circulation, with the liquid, the fluid, whatever. So that's what I did that. So I don't know if the fluid was moving. I don't know what happened, but the next day, that's when I woke up. I did it in the morning, I believe. So the next day, that's when I woke up and everything was spinning. So then my cousin said, oh yeah, maybe it's because of the fluid, since it's over here, it's close to your ears, because vertigo is linked to your ears, I believe. And it was the liquid, like, anyway, something about the liquid, okay? So she's like, oh, that may be the reason why. So I was like, really? So I said, yeah, I did like a massage like the other day or the day before, yesterday. So that could be, is that the reason why? So she said, what kind of massage? So I sent it to her so she could see. And then she said, well, it might just be the fluid, like that is moving because it was swollen close to your ears. So I'm like, yo, like nobody talks about that. So then I Googled vertigo after wisdom tooth teeth removal, and then a lot of things came up. So I was like, people don't talk about that. Like, people don't talk about it. So it doesn't happen to everybody, of course not, but if it does happen, just know that it is sort of normal, okay? So that's what happened. But I was so scared. I was like, then she said, because we didn't know what it was, so she's like, okay, make sure to stay hydrated. It was super hot, like the night. So she said, make sure to stay hydrated. So I went to the pharmacy, like in my building, and I got some Gatorade or electrolyte. I don't know, one of them. It's so disgusting. I don't know how people drink that. I don't know. I was not home, but if I would have been home, I would have taken like some Celtic salt, and put it into water, and that's it. But I wasn't home, so I had to get like those Gatorade with food coloring that is super disgusting. So I had to buy it. So I got it. I didn't even drink like half of the bottle, like, because it was so disgusting. Anyways, so I was like, okay, so I took it. I felt a little bit better, but I was still like very tired, very dizzy. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna rest, and then it will probably go away. And it did. The next day I was a lot better. And yeah, so just be aware that you may experience some dizziness and vertigo when you get your wisdom teeth removed. I don't know about the bottom though, because the bottom are not too close to your ears, but the top one here, yeah. And another point is that it will take time for the wound to heal. Okay. As I said, even now it's not fully closed on that side, and I'm surprised because it's the side where the teeth was fully out, as opposed to this one when he had to go under the gum to pull out the tooth. This one is okay, but this one is still giving me a little bit of problem. So I'll wait, as I said, for a couple of weeks, or maybe I'll call even tomorrow to see like if they can do something about it. I should have called this week, but it was what the lady said. I had called before, but she said that it's gonna take a lot of time for the wound to heal. Because when I called, it was like not even a month. No, I think it was maybe a month. But she said it takes about 6 weeks, and it will take a lot of time for it to close. So I'll just wait a little, and if by next month I still have the same situation, I will definitely give them a call. So that's that. And my last point is they will prescribe you antibiotics that you will have to take the length of the entire, I don't know, if it's me it was 10 days, so you have to take it the full 10 days. Don't skip, don't anyways, don't skip. You have to do it the full treatment, okay? And the thing is, like, for the antibiotic, thank God my cousin was there. For the antibiotic, they were like, oh, take one every 4 hours. So I had to put a timer so I can remember. But at some point, like 4 hours was like at 3 a.m. in the morning. I was not gonna wake up at 3 a.m. to take the pills. Like, no, sorry. I love my sleep, and I was not gonna wake up at 3 a.m. just to take antibiotic that was gonna upset my stomach. So my cousin was in town, so I told her, I said, oh, this is the medication. I said, yo, I have to take it every 4 hours. She's like, what? She's like, why? So then she looked up the medication. You either have to take it one every 4 hours, or you can take it twice, right? I think you have to leave like 12 hours in between. Anyways, I'm not a doctor. Again, talk to the doctor or the physician who's gonna give you the medication. The physician, yeah, I think yeah. Speak to him. Don't quote me, but that's what she told me to do, and it worked. Okay, so I took them twice. So I took 2 pills twice a day, and it was a lot less stressful. Like, because who has time for that? Anyways, with antibiotic after the treatment, even when I was taking the medication, I spoke with the physician. I said, okay, should I be taking my probiotics now, because I'm not gonna have like antibiotics messing up my gut lining, okay? Because antibiotics will do that, because it will kill bacteria in your gut, in your stomach. So yeah, so you won't have like, yes, it kills the bad bacteria, but it also kills the good bacteria. So you won't have any good bacteria at all. So she said, wait until you finish the treatment to start your probiotics. I said, okay, cool. So as soon as I finished my treatment, the way I was taking my probiotics, I've never been so disciplined on taking my probiotics, because I was not trying to have a messed up gut, and then the girl was still trying to get a flat stomach. So I didn't want like my stomach to be inflamed, and because I felt it, yeah, I felt it, because after like I felt like my stomach was stiff. That was one of the side effects of that medication, the antibiotic. Not the antibiotic, the painkiller. It will give you like a stiff stomach, like a lot of things were going on. So I was like, you know what? Once I'm done with all this medication, I will be taking my probiotics. And just on a regular note, it's good to take probiotic, or eat very like fermented foods, which I know I don't, and I won't honestly. Other than apple cider vinegar, I'm not taking anything fermented. and wine. But anyways, that defeats the purpose. But I will, like, I decided to go with the probiotic. Anyways, I need probiotics, period. So after treatment, I started taking my probiotic every single day, and I felt a difference. Okay, it will help with your digestion, it will help with your bloating. So it's just amazing. If you're not taking any probiotics, make sure to consult your doctor or naturopath when you go to the store, the health store, and yeah, they'll be able to assist you with that. So guys, these are the little tips that I have that I wanted to share with you if ever you're going to get your wisdom teeth removed, or you know someone who's about to. Just let them know, send them this video. Okay, send them the video so they can listen and just prepare themselves before going to their appointment. And yeah, that's about it. And also I noticed that when I was opening my mouth like this, you could hear like boop, boop. Oh, another point I forgot. It actually I don't want to say it messed up, but it actually affected my ears a little. Like I could feel like there was water, and it was weird. So now it gotten better, but at first it's normal that it will affect your ears. Okay, like you, as if you have air, or I don't know. It was weird. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed this little video. I know it's different than the other topics that I cover on my channel, but it was so important for me to share my experience with my top wisdom teeth removal. Alright, so thank you for watching this video, and if you're not already, make sure to subscribe and join the family, and make sure to follow me on my socials. Everything will be linked below. And yeah, so I'll see you in my next one. Ciao.